Hey everyone, privileged to have Haunted join me on the channel today. He's going to demonstrate the LiquidLoans testnet DApp and give us a little bit of insight into what LiquidLoans is going to empower pulsechain, its users, and perhaps strategies. Hey Haunted.
Hey man, how are you? How's things, Wolf? How you been?
I'm doing great, bro. Very excited for the up token. We're a couple days away from finishing the sacrifice phase. How are you feeling so far?
It's good. It's going perfect. Better than expected. Just nice and smooth. The chat's been real nice people in there. A lot of help. I couldn't ask for any more. Like,
exactly.
The community has really stepped up and just helped out. Very nice people.
Yeah.
It's been a smooth ride.
Yeah, it's definitely different from other sacrifices. For example, the up token, there's no team allocation, there's no founder allocation, there's no marketing allocations. It's by the community, for the community, and it's definitely a community, one of the most community-driven projects out there. Haven't really had much exposure on a lot of the hex streams, but nonetheless, it's had this grassroots, marketing. And a lot of it is word of mouth. Wouldn't you say? Is that how a lot of people are finding about up token?
Correct. So I've only put it on my Twitter. I've used 0 hashtags. This is literally the first stream that I've mentioned the up token. I want a natural growth, and then I find that better. Why get everyone in the sacrifice now and have nobody to buy later? It just doesn't give it value. But if you have a smaller community, or if you have a tight, good community, and it grows from there, it actually gives it value for other people to buy later. They would want to come in, and they're still early, even if they buy off the market. But when you have a sacrifice with everybody in it, we don't know what's going to happen. I think it's better for the community, better for the people that are in for the up token. It will give it way more value than what it is at.
Yeah. Some of the feedback I received is some people that are participating in the various pulsechain sacrifices are just chasing a quick buck. They think that any of these sacrifices are a quick 2x, 3x, and they're not really, invested into the products. Whereas in up token, it's never been about marketing, getting as big of a purse as possible. It's been about, hey, if you align with what the community is trying to do, then you're in for a sweet ride. so we're not going to get, there's not going to be an excess amount of supply that's going to be dumped as soon as it launches. It's meant to be grassroots. It's meant to be a tight community, and that's what it's come to have been so far. Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I like. Like, what's better than a natural growth? What's better than a strong community? Community building their own websites. Like, you created your own website. Thank you very much. And I reckon you're going to see more websites, more people just adding what they like. Like, let the community promote it. And what could you ask? Like, it's literally just placing the seed in the ground rather than buying a whole plant.
Yeah.
And growing it from there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I like this approach because, for example, I'm able to get the people around me that I really care about and I would like to see succeed, get into this tight-knit sacrifice where there's not too many variables. It's a very straightforward sacrifice. There's a very clear kind of outcome out of this. In a couple of words, how would you describe up token?
The token itself is a standard token. It's just you can only send, receive, and trade. It's immutable, no minting, no staking. You just buy and hold. Price hopefully goes up, you sell. Price goes down, you wait. That is the up token itself. And there may or may not be a benevolent wallet behind the up token that may or may not want to buy the token and burn it. Just
whilst utilizing a liquid loan strategy, right?
Yes. It is said that the benevolent wallet does like the USDL strategy and may use a version of that or an edited version of the USDL strategy.
So the idea is that on pulsechain, liquid loans will exist, and liquid loans is a way for people to collateralize their pulsechain holdings whilst extracting value in the form of a loan via vault, with which they could kind of arbitrage pulsechain to then use those stablecoin to then buy more pulsechain and manage their collateralization levels. And with these different strategies we're going to discuss, which you've been the godfather coming up with the 𝙏𝙗 strategy, and then since the 𝙏𝙗 strategy there's been different iterations of it. Is it for the common user, or is this more for advanced users, you think?
I think it's for everyone. For advanced users and common users, like there are simple strategies of just taking out a loan, staking your staking the USDL in the stability pool and earning the yield, earning a loan token, stake the loan token, and also earn a yield. That's a simple way of using it. If you don't want to take out a loan, if you just want to buy stablecoin from the market and stake it, you can also do that as well. So it's just, there is a lot of moving parts, but once you come to understand how it works, it's very simple.
Yeah. So just to summarize, there's three primary utilities of liquid loans. First is you can deposit your pulsechain and create a vault, and we're going to discuss what a vault is in order to extract USDL. USDL is an algorithmic stablecoin, so it's not owned by a centralized entity. The second utility of liquid loans is going to be to earn pulsechain and the loan token whilst participating in the stability pool. You deposit USDL, essentially staking it to receive pulsechain and loan token. And the third one is staking the loan token itself. You deposit loan to receive pulsechain and USDL stablecoin. So tell us a little bit more about the vaults, and let's do a quick demo to show off the new and exciting LiquidLoans DAPP.
This is the LiquidLoans DAPP, and it just has the information here. The information, for example, where it says loan USDL and PLS, this hasn't really updated, but it will update in the future. There's going to be probably a version 2 where you're going to see all the price of the loan token, the price of the USDL, and the price of Pulse. I think that is correct. I'm not sure. Actually, I think I am sure that is correct, but the rest will be updated shortly. And there's some videos here how to use, how to borrow, stability pool, staking pool, and so on. I recommend watching these videos. They do give a bit of understanding, and we'll break it down in this video as well. Then you click on the borrow if you want to borrow. This is the borrowing page. This is what I have in my wallet. If I want to use 100% of my Pulse, 75% of my Pulse, 50%, or I can manually type in what I like. This is the section here, and how much USDL you want to borrow. The minimum loan is $2,000 or 2,000 USDL. It will allow you to take a loan. If you wanted to take out $1,000 loan, the confirm button will not work. All this information on the right side, it does update as you use it. So if we put 5,000, it tells you your collateral and so on. That's hopefully all good. So if I put 100%, it tells me the collateral. I want to take out a $2,000 loan. It tells me, I'm at 5,637% collateral. You hit confirm, it'll take out the loan, and you're done. And once you get that, this is the stability pool. You stake your USDL here. The current APR for testnet is 8.53. And once again, you can either use 100% of what's in there, 75%, 50%, or 25%, or you can just manually put in what you like. And here's the section here where it tells you, if you're earning loan token and the liquidations gained for Pulse, it gives you the information as well. Staking pool, you get your loan token, you stake your loan token, and you will earn USDL when people take out loans. So there's a small fee when someone takes out a loan. That loan is then distributed in the loan staking pool, and then you earn some of that there. Redemptions. People will be able to redeem their USDL for $1 worth. So if the USDL peg is sitting at 95 cents, you can go buy that off the market, come here and earn $1 worth of USDL for that same stablecoin. So even though it's on the market selling for 95 cents, you can come here and get $1 worth of Pulse. by redeeming. So what it will do is burn the USDL, and it will take the pulse from the lowest collateral loan, and that way, so while people go buy it off the market, it's pushing up the stablecoin back to $1 peg, and then they'll come and redeem for $1 worth. So there's like a little arbitrage there to keep the USDL back to peg. There is a fee. That fee ratchets up as more people use it. Sometimes it's better to go on market and buy the pulse than to come and use the redemption itself. It still works in the same process. It's still going to push up the price of pulse, but just the redemption there, it just to keep the system healthy, and no one keeps redeeming against the vaults and keeping the system safe. Liquidations. If someone is under 110%, this button here will light up. You will be able to press that button, and then that vault will get liquidated. You will earn 0.5% of the fees, and 200 USDL. Chances of someone pressing that in the real world is going to be very unlikely. It's most likely be bots. But just to show you that if you keep it, as long as it stays over 110% in this state, as long as the total collateralized rate for the system state is over 150%, then you should be safe at 110%. Then you have, this is just where you'll be able to come and collect your loan tokens. So if you staked, the points, sorry, this is the point system. So if you sacrifice for liquid loans and you put no points at the end, you would get your loan tokens on the first month. And if you took it for 12 months, but all the data will be here showing when the points will be available to claim, if there's anything to claim. The information is there. This will be updated, it'll be live, obviously, when mainnet comes out. The analytics would be a page where you'll see the system state, the health, and on every page you'll have on the bottom, as I haven't pointed it out, the system state, total collateral, USDL supply, USDL instability pools, total pool APR and loan, stake loan, the total stake loan. It's just saying the total stake loan there, and stake pool APR, which obviously this is not going to be a real case. I think in version 2 they'll have this updated to give you a real number. So let's create a vault, and let's just take out a $10,000 loan, 10,000 USDL loan, just to keep the number simple. I'm at 9. So before I take out the loan, what I want to do is make sure that I am happy with all these numbers here, especially the individual collateral ratio. You want to look at that and say, okay, I am happy with that. Always confirm. This is testnet, we're playing it around, but treat testnet as if it was real. So that way you get used to it, you know what to look for, and you don't do any mistakes. So what I'm going to do is now take out this. I'm going to borrow, and in a matter of seconds, if the transaction works, I should have USDL in my wallet. As you can see, I've taken out a 10,000 USDL loan. If I want to deposit more pulse, I come here, I put how much pulse I want to deposit. Shouldn't have done that. I should just use this. And what I do is I remove this section here, delete this section here, make sure I'm borrowing 0 USDL. I hit confirm. And what I've done now, I've added to my vault. I've added pulse. I'm now collateralized even safer, and I can go on by day if I like. All right, so now I've added more collateral, and if I want to take out, another 1,000 USDL, I just put in, or you can go from $1. Or honestly, actually, you can take out a 0.1. You can literally take out a 10-cent loan if you like, confirm, or you can take out a $1,000 loan, and all this stuff, all the information on the right side updates as you put it in. So let's confirm, take another
Is there inflation on the loan token? Do you recall?
Yes, it's halved every year. So for example, there's going to be a pool with all the loan tokens that's feeding into the staking pool,
Right.
and that there's going to be a halving every year. Okay, so if you want to repay a loan, you click here, or you want to withdraw Pulse, you can also withdraw Pulse. Say that you need some Pulse for something else, or you just come here, take out, 100,000 Pulse, hit confirm, and all the information on the right side also updates. If you want to pay back a loan, you want to put some USDL back in there, you want to pay 1,000 USDL back, the information also updates on the right side as well. Let's go 2,000. Yes, it's telling me now that if I pay back 2,000, I will stay above 1,000% collateral. I like to stay above 1,000% collateral. I'm going on holidays. I'm going to be away for 3 months, and I think that is a perfect place to leave my collateral. Okay, so that I think we've pretty much got as much as we can for now for the how to use the vault. Now we can go to the stability pool, stake our stablecoin to earn a yield, confirm. We've now staked stablecoin to earn loan token. It's that simple. That's it. We're done. We now have 9,750 USDL staked, and come back, a day or two later, we should find some loan tokens yield. If we go to the staking pool for the loan token, as we can see, we've got a small yield there. We made 14 cents in the last 20 minutes or so. Staking our 10 loan token. That's basically it for the Liquid Loans protocol. That's like not an in-depth, but just a step-by-step guide of what you can and cannot do. If you want to unstake your loan token, this is just the usual process. Go to unstake, hit 100% and confirm. But you want to remove 50% of that, 50%, or you can just type it manually and hit confirm. Any other questions?
Yeah, so let's talk about a little bit for anyone who's not familiar with Haunted. Let's talk a little bit about your claim to fame. What are you known for? And then how has your strategies evolved? Yeah.
I'm known for the Haunted strategy, just a basic, simple strategy of taking out a loan with your Pulse at 1,000% collateral and utilizing that Pulse to buy more Pulse. So utilizing that loan to buy more Pulse, put in your vault, and as the value goes up, just keep rinsing and repeating. So, hauntedstrategy.com, you can go there and see the basic edition of how the Haunted strategy works. Sit there, start with your Pulse. Connect to the LiquidLoans DAPP. Mint 10% of your value of your Pulse in the vault, as long as the minimum is 2,000 and your collateral is at 1,000%. Go to Pulse X and go buy some Pulse with your USDL. Deposit the Pulse into it to your vault. Just wait for the value to go up of the Pulse. Go mint more USDL. Go back to 1,000% collateral. Go to Pulse X and use your USDL to buy more Pulse. Deposit the Pulse back into the vault, rinse and repeat.
Besides the market participation, utilizing the strategy should theoretically add, buy pressure to Pulsechain. Now, what if there's many people doing this? What could that do for Pulse?
Yeah, so the more people doing it, obviously you will see the price of Pulse going up. You wouldn't go rushing into it when Liquid Loan starts because of liquidity pools and no redemption. So the stablecoin may lose its peg a little bit there. Yeah. And once the redemption mechanism kicks in and the stablecoin is sitting at $1, yeah, go ahead, buy it, do the strategy, and then you'll start seeing the price of Pulse going up, hopefully slowly rather than spiking really fast. And with that buy pressure, less pulse on the market, more in the vaults, equals less sell pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like an army of an army of people just eating at the pulse that's sitting on the market and then putting it back into their vault, so you can't sell.
Right. There's nothing proprietary about this. You brainstorm this idea and put it out there, and anybody's free to use this idea to kind of recycle their investment and try to maximize pulse chain appreciation. And then at the top of the website, there's a calculator tab, so that if you want to actually utilize this and maybe put your own twist on it, Haunted's already gone through the work to put together a spreadsheet and illustrate how this will change based on the collateralization ratios, based on pulse chain appreciation, and based on participation by others. So
yeah, Hexacat and I worked on a calculator, and you can sit there and try to work out what's best for you.
There's obviously a little bit of barrier with doing it yourself, right? The Haunted strategy requires what, 20,000 minimum?
Correct. Correct.
Right. So there's obviously there's certain barriers of entry for certain market participants, and as I understand it, this strategy has evolved. Right. There's been other people that have put their twist on it. Are there any that you like?
Yeah. So just come on this page and look at other strats, and some of them you won't be able to do straight away. Some of them you can.
Yeah, so these strategies obviously have risk. Since the Haunted strategy, it seems like you evolved that into the USDL strategy.
Yes, the USDL strategy is my favorite strategy. I actually like it better than the Haunted strategy. I like the Haunted strategy because it can grow into the USDL strategy. The reason being is because the USDL strategy is built that if there was a dip, a 95%, so 85% dip, I'm creating vaults on a dip. So it's like buying the dip, but creating new vaults rather than using the existing ones. It's like a safeguard, and always having a vault that's always creating USDL. So, you have your wallet, you have vault. And what I've done here is I just split it up into 2 vaults. You can have 1 vault if you like. I just put 2 vaults here. And then you collateralize at a 500% collateral, which is a 78% dip before you get liquidated. And with that vault, with those vaults, what you do is use 75% of your USDL to buy Pulse and 25% to put into the stability pool, the USDL stability. So what you're doing there is now you're earning a yield. So the Haunted strategy, you're not earning a yield. But with this strategy, now you're earning a yield of earning the loan token. And then the second vault is also the same thing, but you're using 50% of the USDL sent to the stability pool, and 50% is buying Pulse and putting it back into your vault. And the reason why I have 2 is because if the price of Pulse goes up a lot, you can utilize one vault will be stronger than the other. But if it only goes up a little bit and then comes back down, you have a lot more stable coin in the pool. And if it does come back down to 80%, you'll have more stable coins sitting in the stability pool to create new vaults.
Right. So in order to return collateralization ratios to safe.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So not returning. So the 2 vaults will be less.
Right. They get liquidated.
Yeah, they get if it dips at to 80%, they'll get liquidated. But what you're doing here now is creating 2 new vaults. Now it needs another 80% dip from that price. So after a 75% dip, it needs another 80% dip from there to get liquidated again. So think of it this way. So people who trade, they've got a long position and the price has come back against them. They're about to get liquidated. And they sit there and throw money at it so they don't get liquidated. What you're doing is eventually, the price still comes back and then they get liquidated. So what you're doing is not trying to protect your vaults. You're creating a new position. So that way now it needs another 80% to get liquidated. You're risking losing 2 volts, but you're also helping you save the whole strategy. Yeah, de-risking. So you're not trying to maximize your profits, but you're trying to maximize or you're trying to maximize safety.
Yeah.
And by doing so, what is that doing? Is that you'll always be earning the loan token, and the more you earn loan token, then you'll be earning more stable coin. What happens there is that if you ever need to spend something, or if you ever want to go, buy something off the market, there's a new project you want to get into, or Hex is on a dip, you can extract some stable coin from that stability pool and go ahead. But I have here extract value conservatively and enjoy. Meaning, don't sit there and take out 50% of what's in the stability pool, but you got to sit there and take out maybe 5%, 3%, 4% of what's in the stability pool, and go do what you want. So if there was a 75% dip, use 40% of what's in the stability pool and create 2 new vaults. So that way there's always stable coin in the stability pool. You've created 2 new vaults and you're doing the whole process again.
Right. So this brings you back to a safe collateralization ratio because you've you de-risk to the point where you have a portion of your principal, sitting aside and isn't affected by the volatility of the pulse chain price. And
correct.
In case pulse chain price does dip and crash, this strategy it scales down with the price depreciation so that you're never out of the market. You can always pull out of that stability pool to create new vaults, come back to a safe collateralization ratio, and always stay in the game. And then after the dip, regardless of how long it's depressed and how long it's going sideways, once pulse chain comes back up, you're actually left with what more? You actually end up with even more money.
Let's say the price dips from this point 60% more,
Yeah,
and then you started 2 new vaults, and then it went back up to all-time high. Then you'll have more than what you started with.
Right, because you've always kept the money aside in stability pool.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So because you're keeping aside, the further it dips, and the longer you wait to create new vaults, then the likelihood of when the price goes back to all-time high, you're very close, or if not better off than what you started with.
Right. And just to further elaborate on this point, this example is described in the FAQ section of the 𝙒𝙏𝙗.pro. So running through a scenario of worst case, if pulse chain crashes and there's this strategy will keep you afloat, and then when it comes back up to all-time highs, you're actually left with more money than you started with, because there's always a yield component. Now, the challenge with the 𝙏𝙗 strategy, the USDL strategy, and other liquid loan strategy is it's an active position management, right? You need to be checking in on this.
I'll say once a day or once a week. If you want to gain like maximum gain from the strategy, once a day. But if you want to be, you can still be subtle about it and do it once a week. You still gain from it. Like obviously, the more you compound, the better it is in long term. But you don't have to. You can do it once a week. The price is up 20%. Okay, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do need to be active if you want best results, but you also don't have to be if you just want to do it nice, relaxing, and calmly as well.
Mm-hmm. So obviously there's an active position management to this. There's certain capital requirements required, and
correct.
It's obviously it requires like human it requires a little bit of intelligence. So you could go wrong with this, and you could punch in the wrong numbers. You could get yourself wrecked. So so since you've come, this has obviously been an evolving thing, and in the past few months, or since this summer, it's led you to come up with this up token concept, correct? You know, like I don't know how to say, you know, how do I transition to?
If you noticed that I said earlier that the benevolent wallet likes the USDL strategy and may or may not use a edited version of the USDL strategy, how could a benevolent wallet use an edited version of this strategy? Would be that, for example, if one of these vaults were to use, instead of sending 25% to the stability pool, it actually used 25% to go and buy and burn the up token. That's one way you can use an edited version of the USDL strategy to help the up token. So that is why the USDL strategy is liked by the benevolent wallet. Is that good? We have a sacrifice for the up token, which is the sacrifice is a political statement of the people are able to do whatever they want with their own money.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example. Like there was one guy who went to the bank to take out a $5,000 of his own money out of the bank, and he wasn't allowed to do so.
Okay.
And I think we all should be able to take out our money from the bank, use our money however we want. And this is a political statement, the right to do whatever we want, and also not be judged by other people what we do with our own money.
Yeah, can't argue with that. It's a noble cause. And I hope people appreciate that and sacrifice for the up token. And they may or may not be airdrop these up tokens, which could be very price appreciative.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.